There's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Man, this stuff rocks.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason Neil with Mind Incision. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Yeah.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Hour, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bodfather. As always, I bring you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today it's a huge honor and a privilege to welcome Jason Neil of Mind Incision. And Mind Incision will release their debut EP, The First Cut, soon. And you want to check out current singles that's already out, Aneurysm of a Narcissist and 0230, which is their new one. 0230 is the new one that's out right now. And we'll be talking to Jason about all this good stuff. So Jason, how you doing? And welcome to the podcast, my man.
I'm doing good, man. How's it going?
Doing groovy. How did this band come together?
Well, so John Maggard, our lead guitarist, he was going to do Mind Incision as a solo project, and he started coming up with some cool riffs and things he just didn't want to do alone anymore. So he started putting out feelers to see who was available, and he ended up with Kyle, rhythm guitarist, and then me, and the three of us kind of tore it up together for probably a couple months, and then we added Aeon into the mix, and then Kelly came along after that, right at the end of the year in December, and since then we've been hitting the studio and just doing some pretty incredible things, man. It's been awesome.
I got to know though, for you and Aeon, is this a breath of fresh air for you all coming in from where you came from till now? Is this a breath of fresh air to?
I can't speak for Aeon, I'll tell you that, but I will tell you that between ARCANIUM and Mind Incision, I had taken a break from music and just kind of did some things on my own and wrote some acoustic stuff and whatever. But getting into this band and seeing like what we can do together and focusing on writing and like causes that we want to write for, like, as you know, 0230 is geared toward soldiers that are dealing with PTSD, and we're doing a big thing about that with our video. They gave us some footage from the base and probably some war stuff too, and I'll be filming that video this Saturday. Actually, it'll be just me in the video as far as band members, but we're gonna do like a cave scene where I'm like isolated and freaking out, and then we're gonna switch over to the soldier and like have him doing kind of the same thing so that the words kind of portray what's going on through him. And then at the end of the press releases and on our website and stuff, you can find like the VA helpline and the what is the other one? There's another one. I'll think of it. It's blank in my mind right now, but we got a couple of them that we're using as far as solutions for them, or at least helplines and whatnot. Wounded Warrior Project, that's what it is. So that was one thing that we did. Obviously our debut was Aneurysm of a Narcissist, and man, that song was so fun to put together. I mean, and I keep saying it in all the interviews. I think it's great because we put out the video, and it's a pretty violent video, but it's not meant to be violent like in a domestic violence kind of way. And some people take it that way, but we never really took it that way. We took it more of like, we're murdering this chick, and so like, but either way, both of the actors in the video are narcissists, and it's more geared towards dealing with a narcissist like in a relationship situation. So, and it's hard to do that, to deal with that, so we portrayed that in the video, and so that was our debut, and it was really fun to do, and it got a lot of attention really quick, and it was awesome. It kind of got us out there, which was helpful. And then we did release a Slaves to the Game, which you hadn't mentioned before, just as an audio, and it's a more singy chorus, radio friendly song that we kind of wrote for the fans. So that's what that one was all about. And then now we're talking about releasing a brand new one called The Awakening, and that one's actually geared towards teen suicide prevention and stuff like that. So a lot of cool things coming out of being in this band and being a part of it and growing with them, and just being able to see that we can do the things that we're doing and doing it in such a pretty awesome way, you know. So
how's it been signing with Music Gallery International so far?
well, I've been working with Sean Baruch. He's the USA manager. Lee Langton is the other manager over in Europe. And I've always worked with Music Gallery. I mean, they're incredible. That's just how that goes down. I mean, I've loved working with Sean over the past 15 years or so. And with this band, he kind of just took it and said, all right, let's do this. And so now we're searching for tours, and we have some offers coming in, and it's been a great ride so far, man. I can't wait to see what the fall brings, because I think we're going to be out on a big tour, and we've got, you know, label interest happening already, and a lot of cool things going on. So
yeah, I gotta give Sean a big shout out. He's been a supporter of BODS Mayhem Hour since for a very long time. I would say for the last 10, 11 years for sure. He has been a big supporter of me, and I for anybody that supports me, I tremendously appreciate it, because this is a very hard thing to be a podcaster.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure, man. Yeah, Sean's cool. He's great. You know, I love working with him. He knows what he wants, and as soon as he has the power to go get it, he goes and gets it. So, again, we've worked together for so long. It was a no-brainer for him to just say, let's go, man, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
So,
What's the nucleus though, Jason, that keeps this band together and moving right along?
it's the fact that we all share the same exact want, and that is to be out touring and doing it. There's no discrepancy of like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to do that because I have to do this. No, we're all like, cool, let's go. We're ready now. Let's go. So as soon as we solidified the lineup with the 5 of us, it was right from there, man. It was studio, video, studio. And like now we just got out of the studio album, and that's where we're at. So now we're searching for tour.
How excited are you guys to release this debut EP entitled The First Cut, man? I know you guys got to be itching to get this out and say, let's get this out there and be done with it.
So there's a little bit of a discrepancy of what's going on with that because of the way that the songs were released. So when we first decided, okay, we're going to have these 3 songs as our EP, we were going to go ahead and just release the 3 songs. But then we made a decision to go ahead and release them all as singles. So the EP is actually out. All 3 of them are out. And then you'll get the full length record, which we have finished now, the 8 of them. And those 3 songs will be on that. So you'll get the extra 5 songs with that record. And it's called Reflections. We're going to go ahead and release another song in September called The Awakening. That's the one I talked to you about of teen suicide prevention. So, but past that, I don't really know how we're going to go about this. At this point in time, we're just trying to keep the media flowing and keep the interest out there and just keep releasing stuff, man. So first things first, the 0230 video will be out in July. We're filming that this weekend. And then sometime in September, we will release another song called The Awakening.
So what led the track Aneurysm of a Narcissist to be that first song to go out for you guys?
So when we first started jamming together, the 3 of us, me, Kyle, and John, it was the first song that we worked on together. It was my tryout song for getting into the band. I mean, not that John had really even formed a band yet. It was more of just like, hey man, this is what I got. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I wrote a song to that and came down and played it. And he was like, hey, I already knew this was going to be it, but yeah, that's good. Let's do it. So, and then we kind of molded that song as new members came along, and it just turned out to be one that we really thought was catchy. In the beginning, we had a cool little intro going, and then the first riff is just headbanging, and it just fit right. And then we got some feedback from people that we know and stuff, and we're like, hey, check this out. And they're like, that song hits so hard. And then we showed them the other 2, and they're like, Aneurysm, man, that hits pretty hard. So we decided to make that the first one. Plus, I think, we wanted to make a statement, and there's all that, like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed this everywhere. There is all this talk about narcissism and narcissists and everything everywhere right now. And I thought that it would be a really good time to just kind of corner that and just say, listen, if you're dealing with a narcissist in a relationship, here you go. Here's a little song you can probably relate to.
Yep.
So and it was really fun to do that song, man. And it's like I said before, all my exes out there are probably like, fuck, did he write that about me?
I just like, yes, I did.
So,
what's the feedback though from these songs that you're seeing? I know you talked about it just a little bit. How good is it to see that feedback? And plus, people say, trim this or don't trim anything on it. How cool is it to see that?
it's pretty cool. Right now we have only had a couple of negative feedback comments on the video itself, and it's just really what it says is like, well, that's a little too much for me, but right on, that kicks ass. Or like, I know there was a industry professional that was like, yeah, that's too violent for me, man. I'm good. So it steers a couple people away, but for the most part, people are getting it. It's not like we're saying, hey, if you're dealing with this person, go kill them. No, that's not what it is. It's like, this is just what happened in this movie that we made for you. And really what it was about was the gore in the end. Like, it was fun to do the gore, man.
Oh yeah.
Gore's fun. So to use to do the, the brain coming out of her head and all that stuff, it was really fun, man. Like, and the Luke Ostermiller, he's our director and producer of the video and the next video, and probably every video we will do, because we just love working together. But he said straight up, and I quote, "I've never done a video that is so amazing like this, like so gruesome and just fun." So
yeah. And there you go, man. You hit the nail on the head right there, because I'm a big horror fan.
Yeah.
And the gore has left the horror scene, and it shocks me. I hate it. Bring it back, guys. Come on.
It's all CGI now. Nobody's using rubber or latex or anything anymore. It's pretty terrible. But
poor Tom Savini, he's out there going, what's going on?
I know, man. I mean, from dusk till dawn forever, dude.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I want to talk about this a little bit, and I'm glad you guys are talking about these subjects, because a lot of people shy away from them. They're just like, we don't want to talk about that, but it needs to be, because everybody goes through it. The single 0230 and plus the Awakening. 0230, of course, talks about soldiers that have PTSD, and now we talk about the Awakening, about prevention of suicide and things like that. How important was it to create these two songs, and how did that come about?
So 0230 was originally John's idea in the beginning. Like, he had I think the first verse written of this song, and it was already something that he had started writing. So what happened with that is I took what he had, which was the first verse, and then I wrote the rest of it. And his original idea was to because of his friends that in the military that are going through this, and people that we know, there's just not enough help out there, man. And so we want to bring it to light, but we want to bring it to light in a way where you can jam heavy metal music if you want, and still be like, yes, I support this song because they supported us in this, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gives it, I like the fact that these soldiers, like metal. And I know that Five Finger Death Punch did a whole bunch of stuff way back on their second album or something, and that was really cool, and I think this is like a good, just kind of for our friends and for the people that are helping us with this video, and just give them a little something to look forward to, and hopefully they'll support us as a band. Maybe I'd love to go out to anywhere they are on a base and play a show and just do it just because we love them, and thanks for being who you are and doing what you've done for our country. And we're here for you if you need help, but by all means, utilize these outlets that we have and that we've brought to attention. Hopefully they can help you.
Amen.
So, yeah. So, and that's for the troops, man. Support them, love them, thank them for doing what they do, because without them, I mean, we'd all be out there doing it ourselves, like back early 1900s. And they don't do that anymore. They don't just, flag you and say you're in, there's enough of us now where we sign up, and if we want to, and that's how it works. So,
especially when the biggest band in the world, Metallica, stops and they're talking on stage about, suicide prevention and stuff like that and getting help. That's powerful. I think with anybody that has that platform that you can stand on and talk, do it.
Yeah.
because there's somebody in that crowd that needs to hear that, and I don't want to get all mushy about it, but I mean, everybody goes through it. I'm not gonna say everybody, but the majority of us, we've been there. I've been there.
Yeah.
So, it happens.
And as far as the awakening goes, it's the idea of the song came from John. He had written it for his daughter, and it was completely different. At that point in time, we took the lead riff and we made it a Mind Incision song. But when Kelly and I heard that song, my drummer Kelly, we were just like, wow, this is what we should be doing. This, I mean, this is the type of diversity that we should be using, and putting a little twist of metal on it so that it's still Mind Incision, but it has that emotion. It's so deep and well written, man. I love it. I had a family member that was cutting herself, and two of them actually, and they're having a rough time with the bullying at school and shit like that. And I don't care who you are. If you're a father, you want to go over there and rip that fucking other kid apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to not be able to do that, because you want to do whatever for your kids, but this one was written for a daughter from a father, and you can translate it however you want to. If you're a mother to a son or whatever, it's still there. But the main key in the song is the chorus. It's amazing. It says, but death is so far away. Tomorrow is another day. You have more reasons to stay. Don't drown yourself in the pain. And so it goes through that a couple of times, and it's really, it's well sang, it's well written, and it's well harmonized with the guitar parts that are going on. It's incredible to sit in the emotion of that song and just endure it, and I really like that. And I hope that we can actually target and get some attention from the youth out of this, like anybody will love the song, especially if they've been through something like that. But at this, I want, like, John's daughter was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, it started to be written for her, and we wrote it for all of our kids, even yours, man, all of us, because that's what we need them to understand, is that they are not alone.
Right. Yeah.
And there is help if you need it. So we're going to get a hold of some of the teen suicide prevention hotlines and some of the foundations and stuff, and see if we can kind of strike up a deal that might help get the song out there and get it known for what it's written for, so that we can push that a little bit further. But we got a few months before that comes out. So, but yeah, that's basically how it came together. And I'm telling you right now, man, just writing with this band and just being a part of this band is probably one of the most incredible things that I've ever experienced. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. It's kind of like I said earlier, it's like a second breath of fresh air for you coming in here.
Yeah. Yep. It is, man.
I know you talked about this a little bit earlier, but do you feel like this EP and now this album has to come out swinging for you guys, or no?
Of course. I mean, and that's what it's going to do. You've heard the 3 songs. We're going to drop a little diversity with the awakening, but I mean, the bottom line is nobody's really doing full albums right now. So who knows what we're going to do with this, but every single song that we just recorded in the past 2 months, the last 5 we just did, they turn this record into something that you don't want to stop listening to. It's not too power driven the whole time. So you're just like, all right, I've had enough. It takes you up and down a roller coaster of emotions, man. And that's what you want.
Yeah.
Even as a metal fan, you're just like, okay, I can listen to so many Slipknot songs in a row before I need, and where I'm like, okay, you know. So you get it. I mean, we all get it. We're all metalheads. We know what we're doing. But I think that this album is, of course, it's going to come out swinging. It's already kind of set in stone that it will. And I think it's one of the most important steps that we can take as a band right now, as a breakout band, because we'll have a breakout tour, and this will be our breakout album. So let's break it out, man. Let's do it.
Working on all these songs, Jason, was there a song that totally ended up sounding different than it was intended to? Was there one that kept changing, or no?
There is one song that I thought came out a lot different than it was supposed to. or at least than we all thought that it would be perceived. And that one is called Tattered. And it's actually part one of a 2-song deal, because it's tattered and torn. So, but that one, you wouldn't have thought that I would have put the type of vocals on top of the song that I did, but it just kind of came out that way, and it's incredible. Like, I love it, and I know I'm biased, but I've also played it for other people, and even people who aren't, metal fans and whatever, and they're like, this is a lot different than what you've been doing, man. This is really cool. So it's cool to hear some feedback. I mean, I can't wait to, if I could, I would just drop all these songs right now, because telling you, this album is so diverse in its own inside of itself, that, like, once people get their hands on it, I think they're gonna not stop listening to it for a while, and that's what we're looking for.
I know these are your guys' babies. I understand that these are your guys' babies on this album that you're coming out with, plus this EP. Any track standing out more to you than any right now, possibly, that you can choose from?
Yeah. So there's one track for me, and I think that it's so hard to choose one, but for me, it's Aneurysm of a Narcissist, because yeah, I mean, I wrote it about a past relationship, shit that I went through, and that's how I write all of my music. It's all personal experience. I'm not just making shit up, But this one was recent, and it was rough, and actually a couple of these are, but Aneurysm just hits so hard and so heavy, and it gives me the opportunity to, like, say that,
Yeah.
You live to destroy decent people. You live to devour what's in your way. God, I hate you.
It's therapy, man.
Yeah, it is, all day. So.
How important is the track listing placement going to be for this album that you're going to come out with all this, man?
So we've already decided on it, and it's important, because we want to break it up and show the diversity of the record. So, and what we can do in, like, again, inside the story that's being told, so Aneurysm is definitely the opening song. And then we're going to move on to one called Left Behind, then Tattered and Torn, then 0230, then The Awakening, then Final Warning, and then Slaves to the Game. And that'll be it.
So as of right now, has there been a song that's not made this, that's going to be possibly on another EP or track down the road, maybe?
Right now, we have a lot of songs that we're writing. I mean, we're always writing. But as for right now, these 8 songs, these are them. So this is what we're going to put out. And whether it be a bunch of singles off of the Reflections album and just leave it as the album and release them one at a time, or we just say screw it and release them all at some point in time, then that's how it'll be. But I think that's probably the best way to put it.
So you guys are working with Dave Otero, who's producing all this. Man, how is working with him? Does he get something out of you guys that maybe somebody else might not get?
So I've worked with Dave for a long time, even dating back to like 2004, I believe. It's always been a pleasure to work with Dave and to see him grow and get better at what he does. And now he's one of the top probably 20 death metal grindcore audio productionists out there. But I think what he gets out of us and why he likes working with us is because he loves me. Yeah. Secondly, he gets a chance to finally like take a break from the constant grinding and screaming type scenario. And he has an opportunity to really make the recording sound super huge sonically. And he has time to like use effects that he would have never been able to use before when there wasn't enough room sonically and stuff like that. So I think that's why he likes working with us the most. At least he's told me that before. And on top of that, we live, in the same area as him. So it's kind of easy just to say, hey, Dave, we're ready. And he's like, all right, come on. So.
I got to know, man, what do you hope everyone takes away while listening to this? All these new singles, everything's getting ready to come out. What do you hope they get from it?
I hope that they take some emotion that they've experienced and find a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Through the music, because that's what this is. That's what we're doing here. We're taking it to the stage, to the big stage, in front of hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people, and we're sharing our experiences with you because we have the opportunity to do that now. I'm hoping that we can at least grab one of every 10 that's out there, and have that person go, wow, I really relate to this. I understand exactly what they went through here, So that's it. My hope is that, that they take at least some sort of a experience and be able to deal with it in some way by listening to the song and to gain a fan. And that's really all I can ask for.
What's the musical growth that you've seen in yourself, Jason, that impresses you, man? It's that, maybe something that's came out of you that was there, but finally it's out for you musically.
I've always had a demon inside me, man, and I don't know where it comes from other than just, when I was a kid, I was listening to Deicide, Cannibal Corpse, and screaming along with it and stuff. And I always wanted to, and so it's not a secret that my voice has always been doing these crazy kinds of things. But I think now what I'm noticing as I grow with the music, especially in this band, is the stamina between screaming like that and then being able to come right back into a clean vocal that sings without any stress is where I'm seeing the most growth in myself. The demon inside me comes out every once in a while, and you can hear that in the lyrics, man. And I even say it in several songs, but it's really just being able to utilize my full potential in this band and do what I want to do without having to worry about, well, what are they going to think? I know what they're going to think. They're going to be like, that's badass, so like I might as well just go with it, because whatever, like, and Tattered is a perfect example of that, because that song, you wouldn't think I would have done what I did, but I did, and everybody was like, dude, whoa, like, you took it a totally different direction, but that's sick.
Yes.
So, and that's, I like to hear that, I don't want to be held back. I want to be able to do what I want to do for my part in the band without any discrepancies of like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, ha. Yeah. No, don't have to deal with that shit with these guys, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're going to throw Mind Incision out the window just for a little bit. This is just strictly for you. If you could be a member in an iconic band and play one of their legendary shows, which band would it be and what show possibly? If you could be any member in one of those iconic bands, which one would it be and what show?
I'd be Corey Taylor's Slipknot at Download.
Oh, there you go. It's the first time that's been mentioned on here. Good deal.
Now, I have the video Disaster Pieces, man, and that's one of my favorite things to watch over and over and over again, because there are hundreds of thousands of people standing there, and he's just being him. And I fucking love when Corey Taylor's just being Corey Taylor, man. It's so cool. So, yeah, that would be the one, man.
So far, being a musician, has it came back full force for you to where you was a little kid and now you're like, wow, I'm getting to do something that I've always wanted to do and helping people?
Sure. I mean, in ways, I've played crowds upwards of 10,000, and that's the most incredible thing I've ever done in my life. But I haven't reached my full potential yet, man. And I can't wait to, because again, I want to be that, playing it Download, 100,000 people sharing it, just getting on stage and just doing it just raw, like getting down and dirty. I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, so update on everything going on. We don't know when if the album's going to come out, if you're just going to drop singles. Don't know as of right now, or no, or
no date on the album, but you can expect The Awakening in September of this year.
Okay. And Jason, let me ask you this also, man. How can folks stay in touch with Mind Incision? Buy all these singles, keep in touch with you guys, everything under the name of Mind Incision. How can they do that, sir?
So if you just go to mindincision.com, it's a one-page website we created. It has everything on there. It has our link tree for listening. It has our social media, which includes Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. And we also have an email on there that you can email us and just say, hey, what's up? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just go to our website. You can find us on Facebook. We're everywhere. But if you go check out mindincision.com, everything is there. All our videos, photos, bio, all the social links, all the audio links, and it's pretty simply navigated, man. Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show? Yeah, sure. What's up, everybody? This is Jason Neil with Mind Incision. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Yeah. Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these great interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. Get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link and that YouTube link that you want to go subscribe to if you like what I'm doing, and I hope you guys and gals do. And please give me a subscribe, because that's going to get me more bigger interviews. Come on, folks, help me out and help these bands out. Go subscribe, because a lot of people take good notice of that. Trust me. And you definitely want to go out and check out Mind Incision. Check out these singles they got out, Aneurysm Of A Narcissist and 0230. Plus, they're getting ready to have The Awakening, and then they have the visual song. What's the visual song one more time? That's out. 0230 is gonna be coming. And you have a lyric video for Slaves to the Game too. Okay. It's also on the audio. So yep, get out and check these guys out, man. I'm telling you right now, that they've got some good stuff coming out your way, and support them. Jason, thank you so much for being on the podcast, and I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, my friend. Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.